Good morning once more. Welcome to our discussion segment this morning. My name is Sijoma Uche. Good to have you here. Good morning, Ebele.
Yes, good morning to you. You're looking too beautiful this morning.
Thank you.
It's always amazing, sitting next to you.
Thank
Good
you.
morning, good morning.
Thank you very much. Okay, welcome. And what are we going to look at this morning, Ebele?
We've got two topics we'll be looking at. But first, let's look at the outbreak, right, against polio. That should be our first topic, right? The outbreak against polio.
Outbreak response.
Outbreak response against polio. Well, you would agree with me that there's a whole lot of diseases in our world today, and the way we go about it is really going to tell if, a few years from now, if we're really going to win the fight against, those diseases. But this morning, let's talk about this one that is actually a big one right now, and we need to find a way to get out of this.
Okay. Thank you. And joining us this morning for the discussion is Nkechi Onwuvonka, the State Immunization Educator. Did I get that name correctly?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you, viewers at home. We are glad to be here to chat with you.
Okay. And then Uju Onwu Ebuzina. Almost this morning. Uju Onwu Ebuzina, State Health Educator. Uju, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're looking very sweet this morning.
Thank you.
Are
And
you
you
sisters?
too.
Are you sisters?
Yeah, we are sisters. And colleagues.
They're sisters in the health profession.
And even bearing a similar names. Welcome. Okay, Mrs. Nkechi, could you please tell us exactly why we're here?
Okay. Thank you so much, the moderator, and good morning once again, viewers at home. I am Mrs. Nkechi Onwuvonka, as the moderator has rightly said, and the State Immunization Officer. Yeah, we're here this morning to discuss about the ongoing Outbreak Response 1, which is an activity that we do when there is impending outbreak. I put impending because actually we don't have outbreak of polio, but our sister states had. So we just want to guard against our state so that we won't have it. So this outbreak response is an emergency, so to say, in immunization, because that means it's going to take care of any impending polio virus that is around us, probably around our sister states or any other state bordering us, so that it doesn't enter our state, because they say prevention is better than cure. Yeah, I think I stopped so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Uju. This polio virus, what is it about? We've got a lot of virus, we've got a lot of disease, and one of the most common, disease or virus we hear these days, malaria, typhoid, and all of that. Is polio in that category?
Okay, thank you very much. Polio virus is simply the virus that affects children, especially those under 15 years of age. Then they are the more vulnerable. So when it affects any of our children that is on that age range, the child will be affected, causing paralysis. The virus causes paralysis in the children, either in the legs or their arms. And it's not in the same category with the malaria or any other virus. Yes, there are more.
No, it's not even this case of 1 to 5 again.
It's
When
1
it
to
stays 15 years.
It's 1 to 5, but those between age today newborn and 15 years down,
Okay.
they are more vulnerable. As we proceed, we will explain more on that.
Okay. Mrs. Nkechi, you said that it's not yet here, but it's found in other states that are bordering us.
Yes, last year our sister state Delta had it, and our Imo state had it. So I think Abia also had. So in immunization program, our work is to prevent.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Now that we don't have it here, what and what, apart from what we are doing now, what and what are you putting in place or doing to ensure that it doesn't come close to us?
Yeah, already that we are on it already, because the activity, the implementation of this very activity is the right thing to do at the right time. That's the preventive mechanism we've embarked on. You understand? That is one of our preventive measures we are taking to boost the immunity of the children around us so that they don't, get this disease. Just as she has rightly said, poliovirus affects children mainly from the age of 0 to 5 months. That's the more vulnerable group. It can also affect up to 15 years, but the more vulnerable group is 0 to 5 years. So that is why we are doing it. We started on the 9th, being a Saturday, and we are still on it. And we will do it till tomorrow because the sit-at-home has taken one of our days, which we would have ended today, but because of the sit-at-home, we will extend it between the age of 0 to 59 months is immunized. No matter in and coming out from there, the immunization team must
comes and go, because after a long while we're not hearing about it. All of a sudden, the problem is it that the people, because you just talked about our sisters problem, is it that people don't heed to advices? What is really wrong?
Okay, thank you very much. At birth, we give this oral polio vaccine. And the child is supposed to take this oral polio vaccine for 4 times for routine immunization. And we also give it to children. And recently, we've introduced the polio virus. That one is injectable. It's not the oral one. We give the oral, we give the injectable for that one. And you know that sometime last year we have eradicated polio. But the one we are talking about now is circulating vaccine-derived polio virus. The white polio again. Circulating.
I don't understand. Is it another type of virus?
It's not that, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Virus, like every other virus, cells and shapes and all that. Yeah. It has different species. This other one, the one we're talking about now, but it will still cripple a child if the child happened to.
It's not deadly.
The other one, the rate of the other one doesn't give a breathing space to cripple. This time, this one, if arrested on time, you can still save the child, depending on, But the other one, the white polio virus, is more deadly than this one. And that is the one we have eradicated.
Okay, how many strains do we have now? How many strains of this polio virus?
Polio virus. I think there are about 2 or 3 strains of it. The white polio virus, the CVD, PV, and I think one other one.
So is it about, like, the one you guys are trying to fight now, trying to prevent, is it a new type of it? So in the future, are we probably expecting some other forms of new names of a particular kind of polio virus and all of that?
No, it's not new. It's been there. It's been there, but because our people, it's quite unfortunate that these days our people are going back to what we are not known for, refusing vaccination. The Igbos are not known for that. But recently, people have started refusing vaccination.
And why do you think it's so?
Because of so many reasons, so many factors. You have religious belief, you have culture, you have ignorance, you have so many factors that may, be responsible for it. But the most common we are experiencing, especially during campaigns, is religious. Some people will tell you, it's not in our, that we don't suffer it, that our gods are there to protect us. Especially those living around riverine areas.
I was thinking we'll have, gone that stage by now, because before now people are coming out for immunization, and all of a sudden they stopped. Okay?
Not everybody, but our people are complaining that they're hungry. Is it only vaccine that we should be taking? That's the main issue. That they will come up with palliative. That we should tell government to give them palliative. But we keep on encouraging them to bring out those eligible children, because it's very, very important. Like the adage said, that a crippled child cannot become the governor tomorrow. So you don't deprive that child that opportunity to get vaccinated.
Don't they need to be healthy first before looking for palliatives? Because that's, for me, you have to be healthy before probably
But I know, but most of the doctors will tell you, don't take this drug, except when you have eaten.
All right, well, just to let you know.
No, like the SIO said that our people are not known for that. People are becoming lazy these days. Why should you? What? If you tell me.
I don't know, they are trying to imbibe a wrong attitude, a wrong health attitude. You understand? Because we've not been known to reject vaccination, do all manner of things that will cause our children, to have one form of deformity or the other. But because of one, I'll just say the ignorance of parents, especially among these bordering communities, those in the riverine areas, that's where we have most of our cases of this polio, polio cases or something. Not deformities, because we've not gotten to a stage of deformity, because we arrest them on time. We meet them on time and then try to help out through the assistance of our partners, the WHO and the UNICEF. So we've been helping to arrest such cases. But the point is that mothers don't, most of them depend solely on what the husband say at home. They are not able to convince their husbands that, no, let us do this, let us do that, this is for the good of the child. Once the father says, no, this child is not good, don't ever, because we've witnessed such things in the course of our work. You get to a household, a father will give them ultimatum, whether he is there or not, and the mother will abide by it. But the clever ones will tell you, please, my husband said, but immunize them, because it's me that.
Why the fathers are saying, don't vaccinate my children?
We have, because we've been able to, the LGA did, try to resolve the case. They couldn't. The LGA team, where it happened, tried to resolve the case. They couldn't. They had to invite the state. And we moved as a state. And when we got there, the father said that he was living in Onitsha, and he was ejected from his house, and nobody paid for him. And nobody is paying for his children's education. And nobody is asking them how he's managing with his children. Because that man was living with in the mother-in-law's house. He was living in the mother-in-law. We almost fought with him that day, because we insisted that that child must be immunized. Because that child, if not immunized, is a threat to other children who have immunized. You understand?
Okay, it was actually a misplaced aggression.
So eventually, he attacked us. He attacked us, honestly. He attacked us, even in a nearby LGA. But eventually, we stood our ground that child must be vaccinated. We had to call the WDC of that community. We had to call the PG. It became a case. And eventually, he was subdued. And we were able to immunize the children. And he came to apologize that it was out of anger of what he has been going through. And nobody cares to know about it yet. Only for us to be carrying vaccines around. That this is not what they need. They need, just like the SMO has said, that but those are ignorance. If the child comes down with polio, it becomes another problem. Yeah. And if the child eventually crippled, you've gotten a cripple in your house, which you can never revive or restore. So these are the things our people should know, especially our women, because when the problem comes, it falls directly on their heads.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Anambra, and we have been discussing about the outbreak response, the OBR1 against polio, and we also, we were glad to know if you join us in the discussion this morning. You can by calling the numbers on the screen, and of course share your contributions. If there are questions you need to ask, of course, after those questions, we have our guest here who would be answering all of those questions.
Okay. Now, for a child that is not immunized, in any way, especially when it comes to polio, how do you, if the child is developing polio, what are the signs and symptoms that a mother will see and say that this child is having problems? Okay. No, I'm actually asking.
Okay, you're asking me.
Yes, please.
Okay. When you listen to our jingle, we normally say in our jingle, if a child, your child or your neighbor child suddenly develop weakness of the limb or arm that is under 15, any child that is under 15, like I said at the beginning, yes, our target for this immunization is 0 to 59 months, but we normally say that if a child below 15 years suddenly developed weakness of the limbs, that you report to nearest health facility. N'Igbo anyị na-asị nwatakịrị ọbụla na-aka eluru arụ 15 n'ọkatali ụkwụ na aka ya dauduli. That's Igbo language in our vernacular. Dauduli. Ngi kpọga nwa nwa to the nearest health facility. No kata nwatakịrị na-agabunu ọ da agazi. If ọ na-adị heavy, the child cannot move with the legs, just report immediately. So sudden weakness of the limbs. Yes.
Okay, just that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the child should be taken to our nearest health facility. Then the person will now call attention of the disease surveillance officer.
Is there anything that can be done at that stage to ensure that the child doesn't get crippled?
Yeah. Immediately the LGA notification, disease surveillance and notification officer, when the OIC of that facility alerted him or her, the person will now collect the sample, they will go for test. If it is positive, that's where the issue lies. But if it is not positive, first of all, we'll ask the history of immunization when the child the card will be presented to know first of all if that child is fully vaccinated or partly vaccinated. If the child is fully vaccinated, we'll now check for other routes or other cause of that sudden weakness of the limbs.
Let's talk about the partly and fully vaccinated. I don't know, when I was growing up, I remember then this polio virus injection, it was injection in my time, it was at the church we had it, and I think it was just once and that was it. So when you talk about partly...
Are you sure it's polio?
Well, maybe I may not be too sure about that, but while I was...
Is it with PedoJet, the one they use leg to?
But the reason they gave for that particular injection was polio. That was what they said at the time.
Okay.
And I was quite much, younger, and every children was coming to the church and, was having the particular injections and all of that. So when you talk about partly vaccinated and fully vaccinated, what exactly do you mean?
Okay. I said earlier that when a child is born, at birth, you give BCG, OPV 0, and HPV. Then at 6 weeks, the mother will go back for 6 weeks vaccination. We have other ones. We still give the polio, we give PCV, we give Penta. Then at 10 weeks, you take the child back again to receive those ones, and at 14 weeks. So for this period of OPV. Then newly, as I said earlier, that we introduced IPV is inactivated polio vaccine. That one is
Okay.
The one that is given at birth?
Yes. It's not given at birth. At 6 weeks and 14 weeks.
Okay.
The child will receive OPV, oral polio vaccine, and receive the one of inactivated polio vaccine at 6 weeks and 14 weeks. So if a child did not receive that complete one, and the immunization before is under 1, now you have extended to under 2, because we receive our measles second dose 15 months, a year and 3 months.
A year and 3 months.
A year and 3 months. So a child that did not complete her vaccination for this period, we call it partly vaccination.
Partly, no, okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Lady Uju, okay, not Uju, Nkechi. Okay, and if you find yourself as a mother that your child has developed weak limbs and you come to take him or her to the hospital, and the samples are taken, and at the end of the day that child was not rescued from crippling, what would you say that actually happened?
Once the case is diagnosed as a case of polio, it's a polio case.
It's a polio case.
Yes, because just as she rightly said, when the onset of sudden weakness of the limb starts, the LGADSNO will be alerted. That's Disease Surveillance and Notification Officer will be alerted. So he or she will rush to the family of the child to collect stool specimen, and take to the lab. It's not even done here. I think it's in Ibadan. They take the lab to.
Really?
Yes. It's confirmed to be a polio case. Then it's for the child to see if the nerves that supply life, and that is why you see some of them that have been heavily attacked rolling on a ball rest along the road, especially the known for this. And that is why I'm begging our people, crying out that attitude of rejecting vaccines, because we can.
Okay, okay. Let's take this call. Okay. Yes, you talked about the different stages at which the child must, get different vaccination, and you're trying to explain the partly and the fully vaccinated area. Is it possible that one who is not fully vaccinated but had some level of vaccination can still contraction, may not get the polio virus? Is it also possible?
It's possible, but eligible child to be vaccinated.
So I was going to ask,
or any caregiver not to bring out her child. It's very, very important.
You've been talking about rejection of people, not taking this vaccine, and reasons best known to them, some religion, some, culture and all of that. Let's look deeply more. Reject this. Way back in time, in the vaccination, and I understand that parents lived more healthier and went the. So let's talk about why you think most people reject this polio virus. And sometimes they cite example of
in the olden times, most of the things, all its nutritive values intact. But to the school, just plain white in the no garnishing, no do. Okay. Yeah. So all these things are old days were not there. They'll eat ofonubu with have it in their body until they go and come back. But a child will take biscuits, all these what do they call it?
conflicts.
all those
confectionaries.
What food do they call it? What do I use?
Noodles and all of that.
Noodles, all these junk foods. They will eat it, no immunity, no nothing. And looking at the situation in the country, we adults, you can even see some of the adults being anemic. Talk less of a child that depends solely on what you gave him. You, as an adult, can go out and meet where there is a free bowls or so free food, or go to. It's what you gave him that he eats. The immunity is very low everywhere. Most our children are going anemic. But in the olden days, it's hard to see an anemic child because they don't think of building mansions. They didn't think of riding cars and all that. So they channel all their efforts in their farms and what they eat. So let's not compare them to us because they live a more healthier life than us.
Oh yes, more organized life.
More organized life.
Yes.
And now this polio vaccine is just like a way of boosting a child's immunity, because once the child's immunity is low and the infections come, he or she can hardly resist that infection. But when this vaccine is already there, it will boost the immunity. It will help to have this antigen antibody reaction, thereby building artificial immunity, whether you eat or you don't eat. But we encourage our mothers to feed their children very well, because we have natural food, homemade food, local foods, very cheap, that we can eat and be healthy. If you want, I can mention them to you, so that our mothers will know. We have fear.
For want of time.
Yeah,
for
we have
want
all
of
of them.
time, we're going to take that again. Before you start mentioning, some of us that have not eaten will start going hungry now. Okay, now that, before we round up, please, where can the children get vaccinated during this exercise, please?
We are vaccinating in all the wards. We have 330 wards in Anambra State. So every ward has a vaccination point, 2 or 3, or at least they don't have one.
Okay,
and
this one is not the one you move to from house to house.
That's what I'm about saying. And we also have the people that move around to households to ask them to bring down their children for vaccination. It's just 2 drops of NOPV. That's it. And the work is done. Just 2 drops.
I was going to ask, how often do you do this? How often? Like, is this something you do every week, every month?
No. It depends on it's a necessity when the need comes.
Okay.
Like what we said at the beginning, that our sister states had it. There was a case of polio virus at one of our sister states. So we don't have to wait, because people are moving around these days. Somebody from there may come into Anambra and then something may go wrong. So we just want to
prevent it.
Our house, our children.
Thank you. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you very much, Nkechi Onwuvonka, State Immunization Educator. You have really educated us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And also thanking you, Uju Onwebuzina. You're also a State Health Educator. Thank you for coming, Uju.
Thank you.
Okay. And then it's been Thank you. Do stand by for the next segment this morning.